Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here in our quaint little studio. I'm, of course, your host, John Campea. I'm joined in studio, of course, by Jonathan Voico.
Still recovering from that streaming party, man.
Oh, that was fun. Writer, director, producer, who was also at the streaming party, Robert Meyer Burnett.
Very excited about those first long walk reactions, John.
Yeah, they're looking good. We're going to be talking about the long walk in just a little bit, actually. And most importantly, of course, you guys are here. Thanks so much for being here, making our little show part of your day. Here's how today's show is going to go. We're going to start off by talking about no less than 6 predetermined topics we got lined up for you guys. Then in the second part of the show is when we take your live comments and questions. If you have a thought, theory, opinion, question, or an issue you'd like us to discuss, as long as we deem it appropriate to be discussed on our show, go ahead and fire it on into our tip link at www.streamelements.com/JohnCampea/tip. And the good news about the tip link is it's actually good and open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's just that if you send in a question when we're not live, like maybe you're listening to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or maybe you're watching the video a little bit later in the day, you can still send in a question anytime. And if you send one in when we're not live at the moment, we'll just get around to answering it on the next episode. All right, guys, a little bit of house cleaning before we jump in. Again, we have started our movie meetups. We did our first one in Phoenix the other night. That was awesome. Tomorrow night, we've got one in San Diego. Unfortunately, if you don't already have your tickets for this screening, it is completely sold out, like 100% sold out. But we are going to be at the AMC Mission Valley 20 tomorrow night for a screening of my favorite comedy of all time, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. But then upcoming movie meetups coming to your town, hopefully. On Thursday, September 11th, we're going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Friday, September 12th, we're going to be in Denver, Colorado. Saturday, September 13th, we're going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. And on Sunday, September 14th, we're going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, we don't actually have the specific theater, movie, or movie time selected for those yet, except for the Salt Lake City, Utah one. That we do. We're going to be in Salt Lake City on September 13th at the Megaplex Gateway for the 6:10 showing of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. And the tickets are selling, but there are tickets still available. If you're in Utah and you want to come and join us for that, please do. And for everybody else asking, yeah, at some point, were they going to expand out the movie meetups? We're going to head further north. We're going to head further east. We will hit Texas and North Carolina and New York State and all over the place. We're going to be, so just keep your eyes open.
Don't mess with Texas, John.
For when we come to a city near you. All right, guys. With that all down, let's get things rolling here, shall we? And we're going to start off with this. Rob, I didn't know if you knew this, but the word is, there can be only one. One of the greatest lines in movie cinematic history from one of my top 10 all-time favorite movies.
Highlander 2.
Oh, Highlander.
Yeah.
One of the worst films ever made, Highlander 2.
Go to the planet Zeiss, where all the immortals are from.
Except for the bad ones. The criminals get sent to Earth.
Yeah.
And they're punished with immortality.
Shut up.
Don't even get me started on the Highlander 2. But the first Highlander movie is straight up brilliant. We know we got Henry Cavill. His father is coming along. Russell Crowe is going to be playing Ramirez.
Love it.
Dave Bautista is going to take over for Clancy Brown playing the Kurgan.
Love it too.
And now we know who's going to play Heather. Now we know who's going to play Connor McLeod's love of his life. It is Guardians of the Galaxy and Jumanji star Karen Gillan. Hollywood Reporter is reporting this. Karen Gillan joins Henry Cavill in the Highlander remake. Chad Stahelski is directing the fantasy for Amazon MGM Studio. They write the following. Karen Gillan has joined the sword-swinging cast of Highlander, Amazon MGM's remake of the 1980s cult classic. Henry Cavill is leading the cast that includes Russell Crowe, Dave Bautista, and Marissa Abella. The action fantasy is being directed by Chad Stahelski and is slated for a theatrical release. Principal photography finally is due to start shooting at the end of September. At the end of September. It's actually
It was
happening.
the end of September. A
Dude,
day
I've
I'll
been
always
waiting.
remember. Yes, I will.
I've been waiting for so long for a Highlander remake. Like it's so very, very, very long. I remember I was still doing the movie blog. This is pre John Campea Show. This is pre Complex and Collider. This is pre AMC. This is back in the movie blog days. And when the news came out that Ryan Reynolds was lined up to do the reboot for the Highlander. By the way, I found out that's a Mandela effect on the entire movie industry. Ryan Reynolds was never attached to being the Highlander, but for like 10 years, it was just known. It was common knowledge that Ryan Reynolds was attached to the Highlander. I found out recently he actually never was attached to it. Anyway, be that as it may.
Canadian can't be a Highlander.
Well, sure we can. We can be Scotsmen. Why not?
No.
We're part of the Commonwealth.
He can go buy a Scots, sports team if he wants.
You can buy a Scottish soccer team, sure. So here we are, born to be kings. It's actually happening. And this is a great addition. It really was. I love the addition of Russell Crowe. Obviously, he's one of my favorite actors, and him and Henry Cavill being Cal and Jor-El together. I love that. But Karen Gillan is wonderful. And I don't know why she hasn't become a breakout star yet. Now, they tried to give her her own action vehicle. Remember that one movie she did with Michelle Yeoh? I'm trying to, guys in the live chat who remember the name of it, it was just a couple of years ago. It was like a silly kind of name, like not Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or anything, but it was something along those lines. Anybody in the live chat remember the name of her action film they did on streaming? Throw it in there. But that one wasn't very good. Gunpowder Milkshake is what it was. Thomas S. Mitchell was the first one to throw it in there. And she's great in it. She could totally lead a film. I don't know why she has not broken through yet to be a legit leading lady herself, but whatever. I love it when she's on screen. I love her in the Jumanji films. I obviously love her in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think she's going to play great off of Henry Cavill. I think this is wonderful. And for any of you who don't know about why Highlander is one of the greatest movies ever made, and you don't know anything about the thing, basically there's this great mystery. Throughout history, every once in a while, in some place in the world, an immortal is born. But they don't know they're immortals until they die for the first time and then wake back up. Then they become part of something bigger. You see, for some reason, somehow, they all know, all the immortals know, that at some point, they're going to feel an irresistible urge sometime in the future, whether it's in 5 years or 500 years, to be drawn to one place. And then they're going to fight each other one-on-one. And the only way you can kill each other, taking heads. You got to take their head. And when you take their head, you absorb their experience, their power. It's called the quickening. And you must battle until there's only one left. Hence why they always say there can be only one. And they win the prize. But the immortals don't know what the prize is. All they know is that they've got to fight throughout history until there's one left. It is amazing mythology. It's incredibly well done, and I cannot wait for this new one, and I love that Karen has been added to the cast. Anyway, Rob, you hear about Karen Gillan's being added to the cast of Highlander. What do you think?
Well, I think you're wrong about her not breaking through. I dream about her in movies every night. She's one of my celebrity crushes.
Don't know that they would count that.
Well, in my mind,
I
love Karen Gillan. I've loved her since Doctor Who. I think she was incredible as Nebula in, of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. She is a delightful auburn-haired, 6-foot statuesque goddess from the British Isles. Can I say that? I always get it wrong. I mean, Scotland, Ireland. I know Ireland, but anyway, she's from that part of the world.
Right.
And to me, she's all kinds of dreamy. So to have her being in a Highlander movie, I mean, come on. I already have a hot toy of her. I think they're Highlander.
The Nebula one or a Jumanji
The Nebula one. They don't make a Jumanji one. The Nebula one's great. The face sculpt is great. So I love her. And, she's just one of those people, whenever I've seen her interviewed on talk shows and things like that, she's delightful. She's just delightful. And I'm all kinds of excited about this cast. What a great cast. Well, I mean, if you're going to remake, a seminal 80s film, and I got to tell you, when was the last time you watched Highlander, the movie?
About 3 years ago.
Okay.
I did a rewatch of it.
It could use a little updating.
Oh, by no doubt it's dated.
I mean,
no doubt.
I do have a beautiful box set on 4K of that film.
They were definitely trying to give him like the Schwarzenegger one-liners throughout that movie. like, "Hey, what kept you?" And just like weird things
Like
he would
the-
do. It's like it
There's-
didn't work with Lambert as well.
And
It's
I'm
like-
sorry, and Christopher Lambert trying to play a Scotsman was a little whatever, but I don't care. He was awesome.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
I
it's
mean,
still
look,
fun. I love the movie.
Look, Russell Mulcahy, who cut his teeth making Duran Duran videos in the early '80s, directed that film. He came off. He made a great horror movie about a rabid razorback pig called Razorback in Australia, and he also made another great Seven ripoff with Leland Orser and Christopher
I know the one you're
Lambert,
talking about,
Resurrection. Which is, would you be surprised to know I have a German media book of that? But I can't wait for this because I think about a Highlander movie looking like a John Wick film, shot like that, because the transitions.
You got the director.
Yeah, the transitions in the Highlander were so cool, going from like the past to the present.
Yeah, I agree.
Those transitions were so dope. No one has ever done that before or since. And I think the perfect director, the perfect cast. This is a remake, I dare say, has the potential to surpass the original.
I think it has potential. I mean, it doesn't need to. I just need it to be
No,
good.
it doesn't need to.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it has the potential to do it. But this is where I think
it could be
Karen
the Top Gun Maverick of Highlander movies.
could be. Where Karen is a little bit, doesn't get enough credit. Because I want us to take a second and think for a second really, about the Jumanji project, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So who do you got in Jumanji? Oh, I don't know, 3 icons. You're going to be playing in a comedy adventure film opposite Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart. These are 3 guys who eat up scenery and eat up, like all 3 of them.
You might as
up
well
screen time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and
you might as well be wallpaper.
Yeah, and now you got to go out and get them a 4th. So they went out and got Karen, and she not only held her own, she never once in the film felt eclipsed by any of these larger than life personalities.
100%.
Hart and Black and stuff like that. And like, to me, that is an accomplishment that does not get enough attention for what she was able to do in those opposite those 3 huge personalities.
She has great comedic timing.
She really does. She really, really does. And she's very emotive, and I just love watching her on screen. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Who wants to live forever? The Highlander. It's now added. Karen Gillan. It starts shooting in September. I'm incredibly excited about it. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Without any debate, one of the absolute best TV shows of this year has been The Pitt. Now, there can be debate about whether it was the best TV show of the year or one of the best TV, but nobody disagrees. It's like at least very, very few people in this world would disagree that it wasn't one of the absolute best things to hit television this year. It's crazy. And Kel Supri, as a streaming show, it had 15 episodes. In a world where we often get sometimes as low as 4, often 6, and often just like 8, like crap. It delivered 15 hour-plus long episodes that were all fantastic. Just brutally great. And it's going to win a lot of Emmys. And today, out of nowhere, they dropped the trailer for season 2. This show was just out this year, and they've dropped the trailer for season 2. Hollywood Reporter's got this. HBO Max shares first footage. It's actually a proper trailer from The Pitt season 2, and so it begins. Here's the thing. Now, we can talk about the trailer. It looks great. We don't get a lot of story or plot. It's just like, it's a new day. It's a new shift. I think it's set a year later. All the players are back doing their doctor thing. So we don't really know much else about it. Here's the wonderful thing to me, Rob. And we already kind of knew this. We already knew this. But actually seeing it's the tangibilization, seeing the trailer for it drop. Guys, this is one of the best shows in the world, of the highest quality, on the premier flagship streamer of high quality, HBO Max. I don't want to hear anymore that it takes 2 or 3 years to do another season of a television show. I don't want to hear it. I've never have wanted to hear it, but I keep I'm sorry. 80s, 90s, 2000s. Networks were able to make 20 plus episodes every year on schedule without fail. Oh, it's going to take us 3 years to deliver the next 7 episodes. I don't want to hear it anymore. We've got maybe the best show on television this year. It's probably going to drop another 15 episodes, hour long, highest quality show in the world. And it's coming out when? Exactly 1 year after the first season debuted. Not 1 year after the first season ended. 1 year since the first season debuted. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear the defenders get behind it. No, if you are good at your job, and it's a hard job, it's a very hard job. I'm not saying it's not. It's a ridiculously difficult job. But if you're one of the world's best and you're good at your job, you should be able to deliver a season of television every year. They've done it for decades. And you have technological advances, big advances and advantages over those guys who were trying to slug out these shows in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And to have something now, the one thing you could come back at me with is, well, John, for the Pitt, 90% of that show happens in one location. Oh, that's true, but it's not one set. And for all these shows, they multiple locations, but usually they're on the same studio lot, just in different sound stages. It's really not that big of a difference. And I'm just saying here, if the best show of the year, or one of the, at least a top 3 show of the year, can do this and deliver hour-plus long episodes, 15 episodes, and come out on time, then I don't want to hear it anymore about why we got to wait 3 years for a new season of something else. Anyway, Rob, you had a chance to check out the trailer for it. What do you think about the trailer, and what do you think about it? Is it just me, or is it suddenly like, I can't believe this is coming out so soon? I don't know. What was your reaction to it?
Well, I thought this show, it was funny because I kind of stumbled into, I find a lot of shows that Elizabeth is watching, and I'll come in and she's like halfway into the 3rd episode, and I've watched so many things in my life, you can kind of tell what's going on. And for the Pitt, I was like, wow, this is really compelling. Like, it was really well shot, and it was very immediate, every, like, that real-time vibe. And I really enjoyed the first season a great deal. And I think that, look, remember, like you were pointing out, we used to get 26 episodes of Star Trek a year, and there would be a hiatus over the summer months, and you would end in May or June, usually June, and you'd have new episodes by September.
Yeah.
And that was 26 episodes.
And by that era's standards, that was a very difficult show to make.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
And a lot of post-production. But with this, I mean, if you think about it, medical shows on TV are one of our oldest, most venerable genres on television.
It and cop shows.
Yeah,
Medical shows and cop shows.
And so if you've got your set, and the way this show is shot with a lot of long takes, there's not a lot of setups, and they're requiring a lot from the actors and a lot of blocking and everything. I'll bet this show, I mean, look, the writing staff is the writing staff. You got to have great writing. But once you go into production, I would imagine, and I don't know the answer to this, normally a network show would take 8 days to shoot. That was the normal rule. I'll bet they shoot this show fairly quickly just because of the nature of what it is. And of course, ER was basically a proving ground for what you have a lot of the same production staff that worked on ER. So they know what they're doing. Cameras are smaller. They're easier to work with today. And I'm not saying this is an easy show by any stretch of the imagination, but once they realized what a big hit it was, they probably were ready to go because of the nature. It's not a network show. They don't have to wait for a renewal. The cable, it's Max, right?
Yeah, HBO.
So they're looking at this going, this is great. I'm sure they probably greenlit multiple seasons anyway, so they had the writing staff working. I'm really excited. And like you said, John, as we get the next season of the Pitt, I wonder, hello, Apple, where's the 5th season of For All Mankind?
Where is it with that?
I don't know. You know, I
don't even know how many seasons there have been. I stopped watching
There's
after
4
season 1.
seasons.
There's 4 seasons.
And they're all great. And it's like they just keep getting better. And where's the I mean, it's been almost 2 years.
I just was under the impression that was the final season.
No. They've I've heard they're waiting to see if they get a season 6 renewal. I don't know. But where is it? Give it to me.
It's funny. I saw somebody in the live chat who said, "Well, you know, John, it's harder to shoot a series like House of the Dragon than it is to shoot a series like The Pitt."
But what about Game of Thrones?
It's so funny that you bring up House of the Dragon, because there was a little show called Game of Thrones, and they managed to put out a new season every year.
Yeah.
Just saying. And then some people will say, yeah, well, John, yeah, but today they use a lot of CGI. Yeah. And the tools today for CGI, every year they exponentially double in speed and double in capacity. Again, I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. Now, the one thing that I will give a pass on is a series going from on streaming, going from season 1 to 2. Because one of the fundamental differences with the old network model and streaming is they really don't know if they're going to do a season 2. Like with network shows, most of the time when they knew if they had a show they liked, and they knew very quickly in the first week or two, and they'd lock everything down. With a lot of these streaming shows, they don't sign often multi-year deals or pay multi-year money. They want to see what happens first. And then maybe I can understand the excuse, because now you got to try to line up people's schedules, and now you got to try and do this. But I only give it that pass from season 1 to season 2. And most shows can still overcome that. So again, I was just love that I saw that this trailer is out already, and I cannot wait for the second season of this show. I still can't decide whether I still think Andor was the best show of the year.
Yeah.
I'll put Pitt at number 2, but I'm not going to hold it against you if you think Pitt was number 1, because the Pitt was amazing. Anyway, whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this. One of the things I'm really excited about doing tonight, Ann and I are going down to San Diego because we got the big movie meetup tomorrow night in San Diego. So we're going to head down there tonight, and we're taking the van down. We're looking forward to it. We got our spot reserved and all that kind of stuff. But besides just walking around the bay and walking around the shore and eating some great food in San Diego, I'm looking forward, Rob, tonight, somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock. We're going to settle in to the van, turn on the TV, and watch us some Peacemaker Season 2. Episode 1 drops tonight. It is indeed game day. It is back. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. You guys know that up until The Penguin, I thought Season 1 of Peacemaker was the single best thing that DC had ever put on television. All due respect to the Arrowverse, which I loved. All due respect to Smallville, which I loved. I thought Peacemaker Season 1 was the best season of TV in DC history. Then the Penguin came out, and that took the title of that. Well, we talked last week about the initial reviews and reactions coming out of Peacemaker have been really good, and now it's official. Peacemaker Season 2, TV show or movie, is the highest critically rated thing DC has ever done. Let me say that again. Peacemaker Season 2 is the highest rated thing of anything, movie or television, that DC has ever done. The folks over at Forbes put together this list. Peacemaker Season 2 sits at 98%. Followed by The Penguin at 95%. Creature Commandos, also a James Gunn thing, 95%. The Dark Knight at 94%. Peacemaker Season 1 at 93%. 3 of the top 5 are all James Gunn stuff. Anyway, Wonder Woman at 93%. The Suicide Squad, James Gunn's, at 90%. Shazam, I love that first Shazam movie, at 90%. The Dark Knight Rises at 87%. The Batman at 85%. Batman Begins at 85%. Superman at 83%. Birds of Prey at 78. I did not like Birds of Prey. Anyway, Blue Beetle. I did like that. 78. Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's the HBO version at 71%. Aquaman at 66. Flash at 64, and so on and so forth. Wonder Woman 1984, 58%. Man, how is Man of Steel lower than Wonder Woman 84?
Didn't have Pedro Pascal.
They just put in Pedro. It could have fixed everything. And then down to Black Adam 38. That's underrated. I liked I don't think Black Adam was great, but I liked it. Batman vs. Superman, John of Justice, 29%, and Suicide Squad, 26%. So Peacemaker right now. Now, again, this is not saying that it's the best thing they've ever done, but as by the metric of just percentage of people who at least liked it, this thing is appealing to everybody, which is kind of surprising, Rob, because when you look at the style of Peacemaker, that's not a style that's generally for everybody. But you're talking about staunchy critics. You're talking about like more modern, younger critics, older, crusty critics. Everybody seems to be liking
crusty critics.
The older, crusty ones. 98% for this highest critically rated thing anything DC related has ever done. Anyway, Rob, what jumps out to you about that?
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that judging from the kind of thing, the James Gunn of it all, he definitely provides a certain kind of entertainment that is fun, bawdy, exciting, hilarious, violent, sexual. I mean, you get it all. And I think that this is look, I don't think any of us were expecting to like the Peacemaker series as much as we did.
I certainly didn't. I thought it looked like trash. I admit it. I thought it looked like trash.
I didn't even like John Cena very much in the Suicide Squad movie.
Right.
I didn't even love that character the way it was established, and that show was a huge surprise. So it isn't, and I'll tell you something. I think when the story of all of this is written, of the new DC universe, wherever it's going to go, we're going to find out that the Superman movie that James Gunn made was a movie that was constrained by its 2-hour running time, because I know that he shot, there's a lot more, we've seen more footage online, there's more footage in the trailers. I bet the movie could have run 2 or 3 hours, I mean 2 hours and 30 or 3 hours, but they kept it. Whereas Peacemaker, he knew the formula. He knew what to do. And he knew that Superman was leading into Peacemaker. So Superman and Peacemaker season 2, I would imagine, are of the same piece. Like they're truly the beginnings of the first movie and the first, even though we had Peacemaker season 1, Peacemaker season 2 is a direct continuation of Superman. So I think it's going to be hugely satisfying on ways we can't predict yet. The people who have seen it already know. And I think it's really fascinating that not only does Peacemaker have season 1 to go by, but season 2 is bolstered by Superman with those characters. I can only imagine. I have hugely high expectations for Peacemaker season 2. I'm really excited for tonight. I'm excited to see the show. I can't, if nothing else, the new dance number.
I'm very nervous about.
Come on, dude.
Because the opening of Peacemaker season 1, if you really wanted it, it's the greatest, not just DC, it is the greatest opening number in the history of television to me. So I'm very nervous about a new one, because I don't think it could possibly live up to
in the
season
entire
1.
History of the television medium on planet Earth. Did you ever think you would find yourself even contemplating an opening dance number over the opening credits of a HBO Max series?
No.
Me neither.
Let alone,
but I can't
let alone
wait.
a dance number that's like, it's just,
Dude.
it's so brilliant.
Not since a Bond theme song have I been so excited for a musical
there are
opening.
only 2 shows in like the last 6-7 years that I don't hit the skip intro button. And that's, I will sit down and watch the full intro of Peacemaker, at least season 1. And I watch the full intro of House of the Dragon. That's it. Like nothing, every other show, I just hit skip intro. Like I don't care, but that and that. So I'm very, very curious to see what they do with the opening of this. I'm excited about it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? As of now, and there's a bunch of the reviews out, Peacemaker currently sits as the highest critically rated project of any DC project, film or television, in history. It debuts tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Whatever you guys think about that, jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, we still got to talk about a few things, including this big article in Variety talking about how the next 3 months are going to be pretty slow at the box office. But don't worry, we got 15 films that in the next couple of months we think you should be excited about.
Hell
also, Hollywood Reporter put out a really interesting article about they did a ranking of who they think are the 10 best wrestlers turned actors. I thought it was interesting enough that we should talk about it, and I'll give you my list about that. And also, Spider-Man Brand New Day, I love this news, has just added the breakout star of Severance to it. We're going to talk about that and a few things more. But before we do, we're going to take a quick second and thank the sponsor of today's episode of the John Campea Show, our friends at PrizePicks. Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. What a great time to be a sports fan. Basketball playoffs are on. Hockey playoffs are on. It is the perfect time to jump into the action with PrizePicks, the easiest and most fun way to turn your sports knowledge into real winnings. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made really simple. Just pick more or less on a few player projections, like points, assists, goals, and you can win up to 2,000 times your money. For example, this week, I've got Jalen Brunson for more than 24.5 points, or Jason Tatum for more than 6.5 rebounds. I love how fast and easy it is to lock in a lineup in just under a minute. Plus, they've got a couple of weekly features, like, for example, Flex Friday. If your lineup doesn't win, you get your net losses back in promo funds. And every Tuesday, check out Taco Tuesday for discounted player projections up to 25% off. So download the app today and use the code CAMPEA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CAMPEA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. And thank you to our friends at PrizePicks for sponsoring today's episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys, with that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, now that things like Superman, Weapons, Fantastic Four, some of the bigger box office earners are gone, you know, Variety put up this article, and they're not wrong. They're saying, yeah, Weapons is a box office hit. Now movie theaters are bracing for a rough couple of months, where they're saying there's not really anything big coming out. It's going to be a little challenging. It's not surprising over the next few months we got some re-releases happening, which I'm excited about. 40-Year-Old Virgin, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, and a whole bunch of other re-releases are coming because it looks like a couple of dry months. But you know what? Even though it looks like it's going to be a dry couple of months at the box office, I was able to come up just between now and October, no less than 15 films that I think are worth catching your attention and worth watching just in these next few dry months. So even though Variety, I think, is right, it's going to be a dry few months at the box office at least, I think as film fans, there is a number of movies coming out that we should probably get excited about. So I'm going to list off these 15. These are only in order of when they're coming out. First up, coming out on August 29th, Caught Stealing. This movie looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
And I don't think it's going to make a lot of the box office, but it looks fantastic. You got...
I mean, look at Matt Smith in this picture.
Oh my God, he looks so good.
Come on.
And Austin Butler in there. You got Liev Schreiber. You got Kingpin. I mean...
Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, that's right. Zoe Kravitz is in it too. I totally forgot about that. This looks amazing. The previews they showed us down at CinemaCon back in April were great. The trailers that have come out since then have been fantastic. This looks great. This is coming out August 29th. Also coming out August 29th that I'm extremely excited about, and they are not promoting it at all.
No.
The Roses with Benedict Cumberbatch. And by the way, I feel safe in saying this now. In the discussion of the greatest actresses of all time, Olivia Colman. I'm not saying she's the greatest actress of all time, but I think the last 10 years, she has put herself in the conversation. She's one of the best actresses.
She's incredible and amazingly versatile.
Oh, incredibly versatile. I'm going to put her in that conversation as like one of the best women to ever do it. But anyway, this is their rendition of War of the Roses. They showed us a preview for this at CinemaCon. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
The whole time through. And what's the girl's name from Saturday Night Live who's in this? I forget her name.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's one of the girls from Saturday Night. I don't think she's on Saturday Night Live anymore, but she's one of the people in it, and there's this conversation. Kate McKinnon. Thank you. Jason in the live chat comes
brought
through.
it up there.
There's this scene.
Oh, Andy Samberg's in it.
Yeah, Andy Samberg, I think, plays her husband.
Ah.
But there's this scene they showed us, and I'm going to give this joke away because it was a part of the promo, but it's not in the regular trailers because it'd be red band. But Kate McKinnon and Andy Samberg are married, and Benedict Cumberbatch is going through a rough time, whatever. So Andy Samberg and her, Kate McKinnon, are talking to Benedict Cumberbatch, and like, hey, listen, man, we're here for you. And she rubs his arm, says and looks at him kind of dreamy. He's like, yeah, we're here for whatever you need. And then she leans a little closer. I will fuck you. And it's just like, I remember the whole auditorium at CinemaCon erupted in laughter. The delivery was the delivery that only Kate McKinnon could do. Anyway, I really think you guys should be looking forward to this. I think this is going to be great. It's called The Roses, coming out the same day as Caught Stealing. That's going to be a good weekend on August 29th. All right. September 5th. This is one of the only limited release ones I put on the list, but I talked about this the other day. There's this little movie with Zoe Deutsch. How do you pronounce the last name?
Zoe Deutsch. Howard Deutsch's daughter. Howard Deutsch and Leah Thompson's
That's
daughter.
right. Called The Threesome. We talked about this trailer the other day. It's this little independent film that came out of nowhere. And not only because it looks sexy and all, but it looks legitimately funny and heartwarming. Basic premise.
And hilarious.
Guy and these two girls have a threesome one night, and both the girls get pregnant on the same night. And it looks really...
Could happen.
It can happen. There's the joke in it. You have the world's most powerful sperm, but it really looks heartwarming and it really looks hilarious. And if you've not seen the trailer for it yet, I highly recommend you do. That comes out on September 5th. Coming out September 12th. You'd think it's not made for me, but Downton Abbey, the grand finale. Listen, I'm obviously not the target audience for Downton Abbey, but I've seen the other Downton Abbey films, and I think they're really well done.
Yeah.
I think they're good, solid movies. Now, I'm not the target audience, but if you're anything like my wife, Anne, who is ludicrously in love with that whole series, that comes out. It's the grand finale of the whole thing. That comes out September 12th. Also coming out September 12th.
Oh, yeah.
Something both Rob and I have been salivating for ever since CinemaCon when they showed us the first presentation for it.
Well, in my case, John, for 45 years.
Or for 45
Literally,
years.
for 45 years.
Mark Hamill starring in The Long Walk. This, I think, is going to rule. And Rob, you were just telling me you've just been reading the first bunch of reactions.
The reactions
to it.
Yeah, I think they were on Hollywood Reporter last night, and it's not surprising to me because, I think Francis Lawrence is one of the underrated directors.
He's very good.
And, he made his mark with Constantine, which is a way better movie than I know it was very different from the comic. I was a huge fan of the comic, but that movie was visually incredibly stylish, beautifully done. I mean, yeah, he ended up doing 2 Hunger Games movies. He did like Water for Elephants and all that. But he's got J.T. Molinar wrote the script. Is that how I pronounce his name? And this is one of the Bachman books, the second Bachman book that was originally published in 1979. Stephen King published it under a pseudonym. I read the book in junior high school in the 7th grade. It was kind of a cult novel. And it was one of 2 books in my entire life I ever missed school for. I sat in my library. You're not supposed to in junior high school miss school and sit in the library and read. I did that with 2 books. One was this book and the other was Ayn Rand's Anthem. I've read this book 20 times.
Jeez.
I love this story. This story is brutal. I mean, and when people read this, they're going to be like, "Oh, this is a ripoff of the Hunger Games, or this is a ripoff
This came out before.
Battle Royale." Like,
this
oh
was around
no,
first.
The 10th Victim and The Long Walk are the beginning of this whole genre. This book is incredible. The response that everybody had to this movie, Frank Darabont owned this script or owned the rights to this for the longest time. Somehow Roy Lee, who Roy Lee, the greatest producer of genre material ever, maybe. I mean, he has Weapons out already. He's got Long Walk next month. He's having a pretty good year. He's eating good. But this story is one of the more compelling stories, and this movie's gonna upset people. It's gonna upset you. It is not something for the faint of heart, but people are saying how great this is. I can't wait.
And
to
by
see
the
this
way,
movie. I cannot wait.
This could be a very, very good year because Mark Hamill was so good in The Life of Chuck.
Another King adaptation.
Another King adaptation. He was so good in that, and he looks great in this. So there you go. So that is The Long Walk coming out on September 12th. Coming out on September 26th, Leonardo DiCaprio's One Battle After Another. I'll tell you what, I did not love the first trailer to this.
No.
Yeah.
I watched the first trailer and it was like, oh my God, one battle after another. I'm like, if that wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio's face on there, and who's the director of it again? I was just
Paul
thinking,
Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson. If it wasn't Paul Thomas Anderson's name on the credit, you would not be talking about this trailer. This is not that good of a trailer.
No.
But then the next trailer came out and the one after that. And I'm like, okay, now I see where they're going. And it looks great. So One Battle After Another, that comes out on September 26th. On October 3rd, one of the most interesting films of the year to me, Good Boy.
Oh, I can't wait. Did you see the trailer
I
that
did.
dropped?
Yes. It's basically a little indie. That's not Good Boy.
That was
That's the 10th victim.
That's the 10th
Oh,
victim.
that's right.
That's Ursula
I had
Anderson.
that I had that queued for Rob, and then I just clicked the wrong one.
If you haven't seen Elio Petri's The 10th Victim, I mean, there's a lot of Austin Powers was stolen, but it's Marcello Mastroianni and Ursula Andress. It is The Long Walk. It's The Hunger Games. It's so
and
good.
Like they hunt you down and.
But getting back to Good
Yeah.
Boy.
Sorry.
Come on. Oh, look at how great this.
The
Come
basic
on.
premise of Good Boy. It's a little supernatural horror told from the perspective of the dog. Now, just saying that doesn't sound all that interesting. I even as a dog guy, I think, well, that doesn't sound all that interesting. And then you watch the trailer for Good Boy. And this is why I'm a dog guy. A cat would be, fuck these people, I'm out. But not Good Boy.
No, the cat would be controlling the ghost.
The cat might have invited the ghost.
Yeah.
But I mean, this looks so good. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, watch it. It is one of, like I said, I think one of the most interesting looking films of the year. Go check out the trailer for Good Boy. All right. Also coming out on October 3rd, bit of a horror thriller kind of thing. Bone Lake. It's a classic kind of indie horror setup, right? There's this breathtaking, beautiful house in the middle of gorgeousness on a lake in the middle of a forest. But it got double booked and two different couples show up and they're like, well, we have a book for this weekend. Well, we have a book for this weekend.
So like Barbarian.
And things turn very hot and then things turn very bad. And it looks really interesting to me. Bone Lake coming out.
So Bone Lake
3rd.
does live up to its name.
I'm going to say, yeah, I'm trying to avoid the obvious thing there, but I think it's called Bone
I always
Lake.
go for the obvious.
It's a double entendre. All right. After that, also on October 3rd, this is going to be good eating on October 3rd because some people are whispering Oscar contender. Dwayne Johnson's The Smashing Machine
Oh, yeah.
with Emily Blunt as well, based on the true story of a UFC fighter. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people are saying, Dwayne Johnson looks unrecognizable. You're right. He does look unrecognizable in it. And he looks great.
Yeah.
And there are already people whispering there might be Oscar contention for this thing. Anyway, the movie looks really, really good. And that is coming out on October 3rd. Coming out on October 10th, The Roof Man. This is a fun looking one. With this, you got Gambit in there with Channing Tatum. Peter Dinklage is in it. And it's all based on a true story, from what I understand. This guy who's on the run from the law literally hides out in a Toys R Us for however long he lived there and just evaded the law for whatever. It looks pretty interesting. The Roof Man comes out on October 10th. Also coming out on October 10th, One of these films that, I don't even know if they should be making this. And then I saw the previews for it and I'm like, okay, I'm sold. Tron Ares. Look, I totally understand. Totally do. Anybody that's got apprehension going into this. I did not like the last Tron movie. Straight up, I didn't think it was terrible, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
This looks awesome. And I've read some stuff on it and it reads awesome. And I think this is going to be great. I really do. I got high hopes.
Dude, and the 9 Inch Nails soundtrack drops in less than we're a few weeks away. I mean, that Daft Punk score surpassed the film. I mean, I've been listening to that score on nonstop for, over a decade. I'm expecting great things from this 9 Inch Nails score. Cannot wait.
I was at AMC yesterday. They had that bike right there on display. You could get on it.
Oh,
really?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I think there's going to be some really cool toys and collectibles that are going to come out of this movie.
Dude, a recognizer flying over city streets, bring it on.
I mean, just that very first thing about the cops chasing the light bikes and then them activating the beam and just the clean cut of the cop car splitting in two.
I love that Gillian Anderson's in it.
I totally forgot that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I think this is going to be really good. Anyway, that's October 10th. The following week, a movie I have been looking forward to for 2 years because it got delayed. They first showed us the big previews for this 2 CinemaCons ago, and I can't wait for it. It's Aziz's new film, Good Fortune, with Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves. Everything I've seen from this is hilarious. Like, and right from the very first time they showed us stuff at CinemaCon 2 years ago, they showed us like a good 15 minutes of it, nonstop laughing.
Yeah.
Like we were just laughing our guts out the entire time. I think this is going to be fantastic. I'm glad it's finally coming out. Again, like a lot of the movies on here, I don't think they're going to be huge blockbuster hits.
Right.
But I think this looks great, and I can't wait to watch it. Good Fortune comes on October 17th. All right, 3 more films. Coming out on October 17th, also with Good Fortune, Black Phone 2. Now, look, I'm going to admit, I have not been won over by the trailers for Black Phone 2, but I'm still excited about because the first one was so damn good.
The latest trailer I saw in a theater was really effective.
Did it play well in a theater?
Yeah.
I haven't loved
saw it
it.
before Weapons.
I haven't loved the marketing for it yet. But again, like I said, I'm still excited because that first one, man, was so surprisingly good. I was so on board with that.
To me, this is a Blumhouse, film, Blumhouse franchise, Scott Derrickson and all that. I love this because it aspires to more. It's not Megan 2.0.
Yes.
And I would like to see Blumhouse, they kind of took their detour into, I get it, The Exorcist, Halloween, all that. But this stuff is original property, original IP that was created. Blumhouse developed it, made it, put it out. I think the second one, there's some great stuff in that new trailer, man. I can't wait.
Plus Handsome Hawk.
And Handsome Hawk.
Plus Handsome Hawk. All right, 2 more. This is another one that's got Oscar contention written all over it. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, the autobiography of Bruce Springsteen. You've got, well, listen, you got the best of the best in TV in there right now. You got The Bear Boy and you got Succession Boy, all in it. And they're already, like in the early awards frontrunner races, they got both of them listed in frontrunners for that. And there are people already talking about this as being a Best Picture contender as well. I grew up listening to Springsteen. I grew up listening to The Boss. And so I think a lot of people have. So this is one that definitely has my attention. So that comes out on October 24th. All right. And the last October film.
In the top spot.
Again, these are no
Number one
order.
with a bullet.
Finish him. Mortal Kombat 2. Which, look, think what you will about the last Mortal Kombat. I'll tell you what to think. It was garbage. But, and if you liked it, that's great. All films subjective. This looks great. This to me looks like they went back to the drawing board and said, okay, what things worked in that last one and which things did not work? Now let's double down on the things that worked and let's pull back on the things that didn't. And it looks like the result is Mortal Kombat 2. again, I thought the trailers for the first one looked really fun. It didn't end up being good, but these trailers look great. And I think they're going to learn their lesson, and I think they're going to deliver. I'm actually really looking forward to this. Now, there's a couple of films that I've seen people in the live chat asking, why didn't John mention this one? Well, because I'm not really interested in them. The new film, Him, I think looks terrible.
Aren't you intrigued by what it is, though?
No.
I don't know what it is.
I think the trailers have been god awful. Like, I'm like completely turning me off from watching the film. Now, if Jordan Peele had actually directed the film, even though the trailers have been terrible, I might be interested, but he had nothing to do with it. He's not the director of the film, so really not interested. The other one that a lot of people are kind of mentioning is the new Conjuring, Last Rites. Again, I don't think it looks remotely good, but that's just
there's
me.
a demon in it.
True. You're right. It's got a demon in it.
You know, for me, I'm like, I'll see anything with demons.
And so, it's whatever. So it didn't really, it's not on my, I would watch every one of the 15 films I put before I would see them. So that's just me. Anyway, Rob, are there any of the films that I put on there that really stood out to you? And is there any that you're really looking forward to over the next like 60, 90 days that maybe I didn't put on there?
Both the Bachman books, The Long Walk and then Edgar Wright's movie, which comes out in November, of The Running Man, because they're both Bachman book adaptations, which is wild. But no, I mean, look, I love movies like Caught Stealing. And, you know, you've got Darren Aronofsky coming in to do that. It's a book adaptation. And you had the author of the book wrote the screenplay. So this is the kind of movie that I love. Now, the funny thing about
when does Running Man come out?
I think November.
Okay, so that's okay. I'm like, tell me I didn't miss it. Okay, November.
No,
that's
November.
That's
why. That's why I figured you. But you know, it's funny because I think this is the kind of movie that people love. Like later in life, they'll watch it on cable, they'll collect it on physical media or download it, and it'll become, assuming it's good, because it's a movie like a Train Spotting or like a crime like the Boondock Saints or something, where it develops it looks to me like, already just through the trailers we've seen, I'm a fan. Just the characters. I hope it turns out to be great. But and One Battle After Another, which is interesting because it's Paul Thomas Anderson's second adaptation of Thomas Pynchon books, right? Inherent Vice. And then this movie, I was told by my friend Alvaro, is loosely based on Vineland, his novel Vineland. And I find that, is he going to do a Thomas Pynchon trilogy? I don't know. But, I mean, it's Paul Thomas Anderson. So you got to kind of pay attention. I mean, there will be blood. It's incredible. By the way, I saw a trailer today, and I don't know if you saw this, but Daniel Day-Lewis has a new...
yeah, for his son's movie. His son's directing.
Yeah. And is it Anemone or whatever?
I didn't watch it yet, though. Like, I saw it pop up, but I
had no idea what it was about, but it's about fathers and sons, but it's Sean Bean versus... I guess Sean Bean and Daniel Day-Lewis are brothers. And it looks beautifully shot.
Right there. Yeah.
And it looks dark.
Does Sean Bean survive?
I don't know what. Yeah. No. Sean Bean, I'm sure Sean Bean dies. But I watched the trailer. I don't know when it comes out. But, some people were like, I saw people complaining to me online, like, this is just a case of nepotism. It's Daniel Day-Lewis's son directing and blah, blah. But they both wrote the script.
Well, yeah, here's the thing.
And I'm like,
understand this. This was not a Daniel Day-Lewis project that he gifted his son the director's job.
Right.
This is his son's movie, and he agreed to come out of retirement for his son.
Apparently they co-wrote it. So it's and why is it that Hollywood is the only business where family businesses, one generation taking on the other generation's business is like the most tried and true honored thing that's happened since the dawn of human history. But yet in Hollywood, it's like, oh, they're just Nepo babies. As if no one look, if you don't have talent, no one's going to spend money.
But again, to anybody who would say that is the situation, it is the reverse. This was Daniel Day-Lewis's son's movie.
Yeah.
And his dad just agreed to come out of retirement for it. He didn't get the director's job because Daniel Day-Lewis was starring in it. It's the other way around.
And by the way, it looks really accomplished. I mean, it looks like there's some fireworks, at least in the acting department. Sean Bean's extraordinary. But he's always extraordinary.
All right, guys. Question is for you. a couple of dry months coming up at the box office. Yeah, but there's some really great looking movies just in the next like 75 days that I'm really excited about seeing. Anyway, which of those films are really jumping out to you? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's talk about this, shall we? You know, once I went in and watched Rocky 3 and saw Rocky fighting a professional wrestler called, what was his name? Thunderlips?
Thunderlips.
Yeah.
Yep. The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball.
I guess we've seen it.
The idea that professional wrestlers are in movies now, well, now it happens actually quite often that you get wrestlers in there. Anyway, every once in a while, I come across an article that's somewhere that I think is interesting. And I think, hey, that's an interesting article. Let's talk about it a little bit. And I came across one such article in the Hollywood Reporter where they listed off who they believe are the 10 best wrestlers turned actors. Now, I don't agree with their rankings, but what I want to do is go through how they rank them. And then I'm going to give my list. All right. And then I want to hear how yours differs from mine.
I don't really have a list. I don't know much about wrestling.
Well, but we're not talking about the best wrestlers.
Right.
We're talking about the ones who came over and did the best job.
Yeah, I can talk about that.
All right. So here's how the Hollywood Reporter ranks it. They rank it as the great, immortal Andre the Giant. Anybody want a peanut? At number 10. At number 9, they put Jesse the Body Ventura. Ain't got time to bleed. One of the great lines ever. At number 8, they've got Paul Wright, also known as The Big Show. This picture, by the way, I'm trying to remember the name of the show. It was it just called The Big Show Show? Was that what it was called? Anyway, they actually tried to make a family sitcom around him. It is the worst thing that's ever been on television. Nothing else comes
Worse
close.
than Small Wonder?
It is the worst thing
Dude,
that was ever on television.
Loathe Small Wonder.
Who does anyway? So Paul Wright, they got at number 8. At number 7, they've got Hulk Hogan, Thunderlips himself. At number 6, they got Big Sexy Kevin Nash. A lot of people forget he was in the Channing Tatum dancey movies. What are they called again?
Triple X.
No.
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike
Triple
movies.
X.
Triple X is a different franchise.
And of course, he was in the first John Wick movie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Wick. At number 5, they got Adam Copeland, also known as the rated R superstar. Edge, good Canadian kid, grew up not far from me. At number 4, the great one, Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
I've come here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum. So they got Roddy Piper at number 4. At number 3, they got John Cena. At number 2, they've got Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And at number 1, they've got Dave Bautista. Okay. So that's how they list it. I disagree with their listings. I mean, not too far off, actually. Here's how I would list them. All right. At number 10, yes, Andre the Giant. One of the greatest. I mean, like, he's one of the most lovable, wonderful. Also, in the world of great stories from professional wrestling, his are some of the best. Like one of my favorite ones, I can't remember. I think it was Jake the Snake Roberts telling the story where he said people would always give Andre shit. He said one night people would always try to see how tough they were by going up and challenging Andre. And these guys pull up in a car in front of the bar they're in and see these guys come in and start giving him crap. And again, forgive me if it was somebody else, but I think it was Jake Roberts telling the story. So Andre just got enough. And he just got up, left the bar, went in front, got their car, and flipped it over. It's like one of the greatest stories ever. One of the greatest stories ever. And anyway, so I love that one.
Maybe that's where Zack Snyder got the semi-truck scene in
maybe. So I agree with him in number 2. He was not a great thespian. Like he was perfect for The Princess Bride. At number 9, I've got Hulk Hogan. Listen, he's the guy who took wrestling mainstream. Like it's him. He was a terrible actor.
But he is great in Rocky 3.
Well,
that movie's
sure, but I would submit to you it did not take any acting ability to do what he did
but he
in
was
Rocky
great in
3.
it.
But of course, he was Thunderlips in it, but he was an absolutely terrible actor. So I've got him down at number 9. At number 8, Big Show. Paul Wright. I'll put him down there. His best role was what was it? Captain Insano. In what was it? Waterboy that he was Captain Insano.
Yeah.
That was his best performance ever, was as Captain Insano. At number 7, now we're starting to get in not great actors, but not bad. Kevin Nash. Again, I actually think he carries himself okay when he's on screen. So for me, I've got him at number 7. For me at number 6, higher than what Hollywood Reporter had, I got Jesse the Body Ventura. I'm a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. It's just, oh my God, he's so good in that movie.
He really is.
And here's the thing about him. He blends into it. He looks like he belongs there with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He acts like the guy. I mean, so I really liked him in it. So I got Jesse the Body Ventura at number 6.
Can I just say though, as he's aged, he looks like someone took Larry David and him and put them together.
Yes. Yep, he really does. You could confuse him for Larry David a little bit. All right. At number 5, I've got the rowdy one. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
I can't unsee that now.
At number 5. I mean, this is just truly one of my favorite films ever. They Live.
I love They Live.
Oh my God. And you know what? His performance in it is not only cult classic for that, it then inspired tons of other stuff, like from Duke Nukem and tons of other things, all like totally based on what he did there.
Does it still hold the record? Do any of us know if it still holds the record for the longest like fist fight in a film? Because it did for a long.
That one in the alley and stuff like that.
It did for a long time.
You know, I gotta tell you, this is such a weird thing, but in the 80s, I was a huge, I was a magazine fiend, and I got a lot of my entertainment news from magazines. And one of my favorite magazines was Starlog and Fangoria. And Fangoria took this turn into wrestling because John Carpenter was a huge wrestling fan. So they covered a lot of wrestling. I'm like, it drove me insane. Now, I liked Rocky 3, but I'm like, who the hell is Rowdy Roddy Piper? I don't care about wrestling. I'm not interested in wrestling. Get it out of my magazine wrestling. I just was, no. And then I went and saw They Live. And look, John Nada is a great character. Rowdy Roddy Piper is not the most charismatic actor. But after seeing that fight scene, with Keith David and Rowdy Roddy Piper in the alleyway, and it was John Carpenter obviously going, look, John Carpenter unapologetically loves basketball, video games, and wrestling. It's cool. I understand. But I finally got it. And I'm like, that movie and Rowdy Roddy Piper's performance it made me look to wrestling for the first time in my life. I got turned around because of him and because of John Nada.
He is one of the greatest personalities. Well, I don't think you're going to find any wrestling fan that would disagree with this statement. He is truly one of the greatest wrestling personalities of all time.
I mean, even though he delivers a wooden performance, there's something about him. Like, I believed it.
Yeah.
Like, I believed it, man.
All right. We go down now. We're getting the actors I actually think are pretty good.
Yeah.
We're going to be at number 4, Adam Copeland, Edge. Listen, whether he was in Vikings, which I thought he was really good in that, he was just in Percy Jackson, which I really liked him in Percy Jackson. He popped up in Arrowverse a couple of times.
He's got movie star good looks.
He's got movie star good looks. Yeah. He's a very serviceable actor that I would feel as a producer, very comfortable if our casting people came and say, hey, we've got a couple of roles we need to film. We'd like him to be one of them. I'd be very comfortable with it. So I got him at number 4. All right. Now we get into the top 3, which everybody agrees on who the top 3 are. We just may disagree on the order. For me, at number 3, Hollywood Report had him at number 1. I don't. Dave Bautista. I think he is better than everybody else we've had on the list so far. And he is an actor that just keeps getting better. Yeah. But he has not yet shown that he can lead a film. Like he did that one, what was the Uber driver? What was it called? Stuber that he tried to be a lead of, and that just didn't work. But right now, he is developing really well in supporting roles. And I think he, at some point, if we do this list again in 5 years, he may very well be at the top of the list. But for right now, I've got him at number 3. He's come so far. He's come a long way. I'm super proud of the dude. But I still right now have him at number 3. And I think a future number 1. So that's my number 3. My number 2 is John Cena. Again, he's made a believer out of me. He has.
Both Cena and Dave Bautista have worked really hard.
They
too.
have both busted their asses and not just been, I'm the wrestling guy, so I don't need to worry about it.
No.
Both of them really wanted this. Both of them, especially Dave, completely dedicated themselves to learning the craft and learning the art.
Had James Gunn.
And both had James Gunn to really put them over the top.
Who saw their potential. Yep. And then, I mean, Batista got Denis Villeneuve to put him in Blade Runner 2049, which was amazing.
Yep. And he's just going to get, and again, maybe in 5 years, he may actually be at the top of this list. But again, number 2 for me is John Cena. What he's been able to do and transform himself has been great. And although it may not be the popular thing to say right now, because he's lost some of his luster, I still think it's not even all that close. The best wrestler to ever turn actor is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All I have to do is look at Snitch and Faster.
Yeah.
Just look at those 2 films. No other wrestler has ever turned in a performance nearly as good as the performances Dwayne Johnson gave
Pain
in
and
Snitch.
Gain.
Pain and Gain.
I mean, even the Rundown, stuff like that. I mean, he's done some great stuff.
And he's getting some Oscar whispers for The Smashing Machine. And listen, again, I see a huge, bright future for Dave. I see a continued success for John Cena. But I'm sorry, when it comes to pure acting talent. Now, look, the problem is a lot of people haven't seen Snitch. And a lot of people haven't seen Faster. And a lot of people haven't seen Pain and Gain. So they just think of The Rock. They think of Jumanji, which he's great in, by the way. And they just think of Fast and the Furious or whatever. But he's a legit actor. And he's really quite good. Again, I don't see him ever winning any Oscars by any stretch of the imagination. Although Smashing Machine, who knows? But I think it's very comfortably Dwayne Johnson is the best wrestler turned actor to me. Anyway, Rob, I won't ask you to give a full top 10, but did any of these actors really stand out?
Well,
to
I
you?
mean, I think that you've made a pretty good case. I mean, I kind of chimed in and I just don't know much about, especially 80s and 90s, even though I looked at Ric Flair to do my Schmodown character because Christian Harloff suggested doing that. But I mean, I think what's really interesting is wrestlers are actors. To be a part of professional wrestling is to be a showman. It is to be on stage. It is to perform for an audience, and you are giving them a performance. And I think that, like comedians, I've always been surprised at how some comedians, like Robin Williams, was able to deliver in things like World According to Garp or Good Will Hunting or 1 Hour Photo. Comedians can sometimes transition and be great dramatic actors. And it's not surprising to me that once wrestlers come at it from a very different perspective. But if they're working with directors that can hone what they already possess, which is this sense of showmanship, and be able to channel that showmanship into a different direction, because, the character of Drax, that could have not worked.
Oh, absolutely.
And Dave Bautista has something in him that allows him to do that. What is Gamora?
Yeah.
Why? But when you see him in Blade Runner 2049, and he did a short that's not in the movie, but he did one of those shorts where there's a soulfulness to him that he's able to sort of tap into in addition to being comedic. And I think that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who obviously he brings his showmanship, you seldom have seen the wrestler come out of him, but you did see it in Pain and Gain. The Smashing Machine, that I've seen the trailer for it a lot. He looks pretty phenomenal in that.
He
but
looks
he's
like
been around the
really
business
good
enough. He's got like 25 years of being in movies to sort of figure that out. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing I find interesting when people from other professions come in to act. And I think that wrestlers have a unique perspective that not other people have.
You know what James Gunn is a mastery of? And this is what really helped Dave Bautista initially with Drax and I think John Cena. James Gunn is a master at taking a performer and understanding their strengths and weaknesses and knows how to accentuate and showcase their strengths.
Yes.
While hiding their weaknesses and not putting the actor in a position that their deficiencies become exposed.
100%, because I think James Gunn comes from a place of loving these performers.
Yeah.
He truly does, the same way he loves music, and that's why he's able to. And the people like Nathan Fillion, like I was real worried about that. I thought people would hate Guy Gardner because the way he was first presented in the trailers. You don't hate him.
No, he's crazy.
You know, and that's a feat.
And I'm afraid he's going to die in Lanterns. But
keep
that's
saying
another
that.
discussion
They
for another time.
can't kill Guy Gardner.
I think they will.
Not until they get to one scene in Justice League. They can't.
All right, guys. Question is for you. By the way, there's some people asking, like, why not Cody Rhodes? He was just in Naked Gun. Or why not Steve Austin? Well, I decided to build my list because I was primarily talking about the Hollywood Reporter article.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give my list the way they did it. By the way, just so you know, I love me Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love me Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's a terrible actor. He's terrible. And I just don't know. So he would have been pretty low on my list, but I didn't leave him off the list. I just was taking the Hollywood Reporter list and doing my order of it. So that's why. Anyway, guys, question is for you. How would you rank the best professional wrestlers who have now become actors as far as their acting ability goes? Who would you have at the top? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Spider-Man Brand New Day is shooting right now as we speak over in Europe. The cameras are rolling, all that kind of stuff. We already know a bunch of people that are in it. Well, now, and there have been a bunch of rumors about Florence Pugh, all that, which may turn out to be true, may not turn out to be true. But we've got a new casting in Spider-Man Brand New Day that is confirmed. Severance superstar Tramell Tillman, who plays Mr. Milchick, has been added to the cast of Spider-Man. Gizmodo writes, no word on who he'll be playing, but will happily follow Mr. Milchick into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. By the way, this was originally broke by the Hollywood Reporter. Gizmodo is just kind of reporting on it as well. It writes the following. The manager, let me bop this up a bit. The manager of the Severed Floor has a new gig, taglining with Spider-Man. Though we, of course, have absolutely no idea which character he'll be playing, Severance standout Tramell Tillman will be swinging into a role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. The update on the much-anticipated fourth Spider-Man MCU movie starring the returning Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon, plus John Bernthal's Punisher and Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, come from Variety. Tillman joins Sadie Sink from Stranger Things and Liz Colin-Zayas, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, from The Bear. On the film's list, new cast members from other things we like, though we have no clue who they'll be playing here. All right. First of all, Mr. Milchick in season 1 of Severance was a very interesting character, but it wasn't until season 2 that he really started to shine. Devour festulence. One of the great lines in television history. I love that. And he's become a very deep character and a very wildly entertaining character as well. As a matter of fact, Tom Cruise loved him so much in it, they gave a role for him in the last Mission Impossible thing. It was because Tom Cruise was such a big fan of Severance, decided to bring him in. And by the way, he was one of the standouts. Small role, but he stood out a lot in that recent Mission Impossible film. Now, look, I've already seen the discussions happening online of people absolutely convinced he's playing Miles Morales' dad. While I have no firsthand knowledge of anything, guys, I can tell you he is not playing Miles Morales' dad. We just talked on this show a few weeks ago how Kevin Feige came out and made the statement that when it comes to anything Miles Morales related, he's been told to, this is a direct quote, keep his hands off. That's what Kevin Feige said. So, well, John, that's just Miles. It didn't say anything about Miles' dad. Well, it said anything Miles Morales related. So I think it's pretty safe to say he is not playing Miles Morales' dad. Now, had Kevin Feige not come out and said that they can't touch anything Miles Morales, oh God, he would be great as Miles' dad. He really would. But that's not who he's going to be playing. I really don't have a theory right now on who he could be playing. I mean, if you go by the Spider-Man animated series, the Friendly is that what the name of it? It's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I mean, he could be the new Osborn. But I don't think they're going to go that direction either. Let's just put it this way. I don't care who he's playing, because I've always said adding talent is never a mistake. And this guy is great. And I think in the next couple of years, he is going to be a breakout superstar. I love seeing him on screen. I think he's going to fit in well and great with this. I cannot wait to find out who he's playing, but this is great. And we just keep getting more and more news about this Spider-Man movie. They got themselves a great director. Again, I am concerned that John Watts is no longer there, who directed the last 3 Spider-Man movies and did a fabulous job with them. But they got Destin Daniel Cretton, I should say, in there, who directed Shang-Chi. He'll do a great job. I love the way this cast has come together. Anyway, Rob, what do you think about him joining Spider-Man?
Well, look, he's a great actor. And what I love is they've put together in this movie, I think, a terrific ensemble, not just of superhero characters, but just in general. And I think, look, they're following up a movie. Again, the pressure's on. A $2 billion hit, that was so beloved because obviously the Spider-Man characters and all the different villains. So it's a tough act to follow. And they have to really they have to build up Peter Parker from the ground up, really. So I think the fact that they're really filling this cast with heavy hitters is something that makes me interested. Because look, it's all about character. And they're going after some of the best actors to fill these roles. I've really liked what Sadie Sink has done in Stranger Things. And, I want to see Mark Ruffalo brought back, as you do, to the Hulk we all know and love. And the fact that the Hulk and Punisher, I love John Bernthal. I think he's great.
Oh, so good.
And this cast just makes me more and more excited. Look, I'll watch anything. When you put together, I love ensembles. I love seeing a group of actors all interacting. And the fact that this story seems to be leaning into, I don't need an apocalyptic space-time rip. I want to see something. I want to see the story of how does Spider-Man go from nothing to something. He's had his whole life turned upside down. He's lost Aunt May. He's lost his own identity. And that appeals to me. And I think we might get a really heartfelt, grounded, very interesting, character-driven Spider-Man film. And I'm there for it, dude. I am there for it.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? The cast of this movie's coming together really well. I think he's a fabulous addition to it. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, it's now time for us to move on to the most important part of our show, which is, of course, taking your live comments and questions. But before we do, we'll bid good afternoon to writer, director, producer Robert Meyer Burnett. Great job as always, my friend.
So we're doing the show mobile tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, we got our show tomorrow. You'll be on it. I'll be on it. Jonathan will be on it. All 3 of us will be in 3 different places.
That's wild, dude. That's technology.
That's the modern world. And we hope you guys will join us for that. All right. With all that said, guys, let's get on to your questions here, shall we? Jonathan, what we got up first?
All right. This thing's kind of bouncing around with me, but Prometheus, to clarify from yesterday, I've never seen Jaws at all, and now I get to watch it for the first time on the big screen. Also, why do theaters not play more older movies? Is there a rights issue? I would love to see more movies I never got a chance to see.
Well, the reason they don't do it more often is because not a lot of people go to them. That's just the thing. Look, movie theaters, movie theaters are not in the movie business. They're in the candy business. That's what a movie theater executive once said at CinemaCon, and he's not wrong. Movie theaters want as many people to come in. They really don't get much of the movie ticket money, but they want people in the theaters because people in the theaters mean people at their concession stands buying money or buying popcorn, buying soda, buying candy, whatever. If playing older movies actually brought in more audiences, they would do it a lot more often. They really would. But the reality is most of the time they don't. And look, today, like, what movie can you play that isn't available on home streaming already? So that makes it even more difficult. You will get your odd big successful runs here and there, but yeah, unfortunately, they just don't bring in that many people. All right, what's next?
We got not Blackbeard, Spicy Runs. Celebrates 7 months of membership. Hey, John and crew, been hope all is well. After watching House of the Dragon, I really think Ewan Mitchell would be the perfect DCU Joker. What are your thoughts?
Again, what's the point in trying to pick an actor to play a character when you have no idea how they're going to portray that character? Like for you, he would play a great Joker for the way you've got Joker in your head, right? Jack was a great Joker, but he wouldn't have been good for Jared's Joker. Heath was a great Joker, but he wouldn't have been, good playing Caesar's Joker. Like, there's no point in saying this guy would be perfect for this role when we have no idea how they're trying to manifest that character in this new thing, because every time we've seen Joker, he's been very different, right? And different actors would be better suited for it. So I really don't have a thing that this person would be perfect for this when we don't know how they're going to portray them at all. He could be the absolute worst person in the world for it. All right, what's next?
Just curious, says, hey, John, I heard you finished Project Hail Mary. How was it overall? I love the plot and even thought it threw a lot of science at you. It made it kind of accessible. Plus, I love the main character, and the audiobook narrator was amazing, too. I finally finished Project Hail Mary, the audiobook. It is fantastic. And I'm going to do a second listen to it once we start the big movie meetup tour, and we're going to be on the road for 5 days. Anne's coming with me for that, and we decided she hasn't heard it yet, so we're going to wait and we're going to go through it again, because it's like 18 hours, so we'll have plenty of time to get through it. But yeah, I thought it's absolutely fantastic. If you guys have not read or gotten the audiobook for Project Hail Mary, I highly recommend it. It is so freaking good. I loved it. All right, what's next? We got Dildar the Glorious. Did you see there's a new Battlestar Galactica game announced? It's an RTS ship battle game. It's not my type of game, but just thought I'd let you know since it's your favorite show.
I did not see that there's a new Battlestar Galactica game. I will be very interested in that. Again, yeah, you're right. Battlestar Galactica, the Ronald D. Moore version, is my all-time favorite show. I think it's singly the best show ever made. And I cannot wait for somebody to try rebooting it again. We've been waiting. They need to bring this thing back to screen. But anyway, I didn't know. Now I'm going to go look it up because I've not heard that there was a new game coming. All right, what's next?
Conjecture says, time to make some butter delivery devices. I guess he's getting ready for the movies.
That's what popcorn is. Popcorn is but a butter delivery device. It is but the carrier, the vessel that brings butter to your mouth. I do put an unhealthy amount of butter on my popcorn. I really do. All right, what's next?
Dwarf UK says, hey, John, me and my brother had a similar incident at the cinema. We went to see Creed 3, and there were some rowdy kids throwing popcorn in front of us. Luckily, after the movie, the manager gave everyone who watched the movie free tickets for the interruption.
That's good. That's good. Why didn't they come in and throw those kids out, though?
Right.
I mean... listen, I do appreciate that they took steps to try to make it up to the audience. That's a good thing. But I think movie theaters need to be more proactive in saying, hey, listen, enforce codes of conduct in your place of business where other people have paid you to come in and enjoy a movie. And if you have other patrons ruining that, you got to be more proactive. I'm not saying you come in and physically assault them, but like you come in and say, listen, we need you to calm down or settle down, or we're going to have to ask you to leave. And once we ask you to leave, you either got to get up and leave, or we are calling the police and we are pressing charges against you for criminal trespassing, because this is private property and we're telling you to leave. They got to become more proactive at that. They really do. Anyway, what's next?
All right. Scooby Drool, this is in regards to yesterday's story about AMC. I'm not saying that if management did something, it would prevent this assault or wouldn't prevent this assault, but you're right. Management should have done something to address the issue. This reminds me of an incident 2 years ago in an AMC theater in Florida where a person found another person sitting in a pre-assigned seat for the showing of Insidious, The Red Door. When the man asked the person to move out from his seat, let's see. Oh yeah, the man in the seat got up and attacked the man who asked him to get out of his seat. I wasn't sure if the attacker was arrested, but the man was beaten very badly and went to the hospital. I'm scared. What should I do to protect myself in movie theaters?
Well,
This is a pretty rare occurrence.
Yeah, look, I will say this. The things like, in both instances, the instance we talked about yesterday that happened in Boston and that incident there, you can run into a crazy person wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
You could run into a crazy person at the grocery store. Like, you could be like, oh, I need to get into that freezer to grab the Eggos, but there's somebody just standing in front of the freezer door looking at their phone. You could ask them to move and get out of your way, and they could snap and do, like, there is nothing particular about the movie theater that caused such pain. You can run into an idiot anywhere you go, in line to get on a bus, at a checkout line, at a mall. It really doesn't matter. So I don't think this is not something that is confined to or particularly more noticeable at movie theaters than anywhere else. I would actually present to you that it happens less at movie theaters than almost anywhere else. So how do you protect yourself at movie theaters? I don't think you need to protect yourself at a movie theater. I think it's 99.99999% of the time they go to a movie theater. It's a totally wonderful experience. But it's like anything else. If you have to talk to a person, be polite, be nice, try to gauge right away if they already look like they're psycho, and don't be afraid to approach management before anything else. Now, yeah, if you find somebody sitting in your seat, before going to get a manager, yeah, ask them politely first. If it becomes a problem, don't escalate. Go get a manager and let them deal with it. All right, what's next?
Jacob, hey John, for Denver, you should check out the AMC Arapahoe 16. It's designed to look like the Chinese theater and has great parking.
Oh yeah, so I got on by the way, if any of you guys have some input on this, if you go into the community tab on our YouTube channel, you'll see I've got a post in there asking people saying, hey guys, we've already got our movie theater lined up for Las Vegas and we've got our movie theater lined up for Salt Lake City, but we don't have our movie theaters lined up yet for Albuquerque or Denver. And so I asked people for recommendations. What movie theater do you think we should go to? And there are two requirements for the movie theater in Denver and in Albuquerque. Requirement number one, that it has a surface parking lot. Because I'm driving a 10-foot tall van. I cannot park in a parking garage. I cannot get my vehicle into a parking garage. So it's got to be either at a mall or whatever, something that has a big open surface parking lot. Okay, that's requirement number one. Requirement number two is it can't be inside a mall. It's got to have its doors have to lead to the outside, because we are going to hang around and talk with people for like 45 minutes after the movie. And we can't do that inside in a mall and clog up, traffic in a mall. We want to be outside. So if you guys have a good movie theater that you would recommend us to do our movie meetup in Albuquerque or in Denver, and it meets those two requirements, big outdoor surface parking lot, and its doors lead outside so we can hang out in front of the theater afterwards, jump into our community tab and let me know which movie theaters you would recommend. And I'll take a look at the one you just suggested too. All right, what's next?
We got Anonymous. I suspect the piracy conversation is going to explode next year when Harry Potter becomes the most pirated show in history by far. So many Gen Zs and millennials are having conversations around canceling HBO Max, listing reasons as J.K. Rowling, then pirating. But like J.K. Rowling, but then you're still participating in it.
Yeah, you're
so
a particularly stupid idiot. If
then
you're
you
like,
still
I
like
have a problem with Harry Potter because this person has
still
views
like
that
the
I don't agree
content,
with,
yeah.
but I'm still going to watch it.
Oh.
No. Like, look, I am certainly somebody who does not agree with all the personal views of J.K. Rowling. All right. But views are views. Everybody has, whatever. If it means that much to you, then be a man about it and just don't watch the content. Like you're just a sniveling little rat if you say, oh, I'm not going to watch. I have a problem with that because of, I disagree with the views on something.
But you
social,
just like her entire creation. That
but
you're going to watch it.
But I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, then you're spineless. You're spineless. If you actually have a problem with it, and hey, if you actually have a problem with it,
And don't watch it.
That's fine. That's fine. But have a spine about
Yeah.
it and don't watch it.
Don't try to
You're
take
just using it as an excuse
Don't
to
take-
pirate
yeah.
something.
Don't take the moral high ground to do something illegal, because you taking away that money from HBO Max, and what did all the other shows do to you?
Yeah, if you think 1 second that
What did
the
Peacemaker do
money
to you?
that JK is getting for the Harry Potter series has anything to do about whether you watch it or not, it doesn't.
Yeah.
She's getting her check from HBO Max, regardless of if everybody on the planet watches it or if nobody watches it. Again, the people who would say that again are just spineless, and they're just using it as a pretense. That's all it is. If you really have a problem with it, and I respect it if you do, then don't watch the show.
Yeah, it's fine.
If you say you have a problem with it, but you're going to watch it anyway, you're just going to watch it differently, oh, then you're just a hypocrite. Again, I don't agree with a lot of the personal views of J.K. Rowling, but that has nothing to do with the project or the show or anything to do with that. So whatever. But if it does bother you, I respect that. Just follow through on it and don't watch the show. It's that simple. Anyway. All right. What's next?
Hey, John and Jonathan, have you guys watched the trailer for Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks? I think it looks really good. I'm excited to support Chris' endeavors as a filmmaker. Do you have any plans to see it? Are you excited for it? It's not opening wide though, right?
I don't even know that I'm going to have the opportunity to see it because I have no idea where it's opening or if it's getting, again, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I simply don't know. What I do know is that it's awesome that Chris got to make a movie. Like that's awesome. I saw the trailer for it, and let's just put it this way. If it plays in a theater near me, I will go to see it. I just don't know if it is going to play in a theater near me. So we'll see. All right. What's next?
We got Amin who says, TIFTix for regular members went on sale today. Lots of the big films and prime showtimes were already sold out. I did manage to still snag 4, including Wake Up Dead Man.
Oh, no, I didn't know they were playing that at TIFF.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Ballad of a Small Player, and can't wait. I'll be sure to let you know my thoughts.
For those of you who don't know, TIFF is probably the most important film festival.
It really
of
has
the year.
become it, hasn't it?
Yeah. The Toronto International Film Festival. I mean, it's a lot of film festivals are great, but TIFF is where the big ones go. The Toronto International Film Festival. I have some great memories going to that thing as well. Anyway, that is awesome that you were able to snag tickets for that thing. I wish I was up there for it this year. Clearly I'm not, but that is great. Do let us know how you like those films when you get a chance to see them. All right. What's next?
We got James. John, I'm also seeing Jaws. Okay, I am too, actually, if I can get tickets. Seeing Jaws next week in my Cineworld for its 50th. Also 50 and on cinema this weekend, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Finally, I fart in your general direction. Yes, another 50th for recently on cinema. Monty Python, The Holy Grail.
Holy Grail is 50 years old?
Oh, yeah. That was the 70s.
That's true. Still one of the funniest movies ever. Ever.
Monty Python are just like, they're the pinnacle of comedy for me.
There are those who call me Tim. I remember when I first got internet, one of the very first files I found to download was like the complete scripts of Monty Python. There's an argument to be made. I think you're right, Jonathan. There's an argument to be made that they are indeed the pinnacle of comedy. Like, just the cheese shop sketch is one of the funniest things ever.
Just the way they constructed their flying circus show, it was stream of consciousness. It was amazing.
They were just so far ahead of their time, and their stuff stands up. It completely stands up today. Anyway. All right, what's next?
We got Venom's Dentist. I've been reading Project Hail Mary. It's amazing. I almost think it's better in audio format. I think you and Rob should do an open discussion book club on it, where people can talk about the book and how we think it'll translate to the big screen.
You know what? That's not a bad idea for us to do like a stream sometime in the next couple of months, just doing an open talk about the story and how we think it might translate into the movie. That's not a bad idea. I might do that.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Got a 2-parter from David. This just in will be abounded officially, probably been announced officially in the next few days. And shows will start going on sale tomorrow. Regal is doing a month of cinephile films for the entirety of September. One film a day, all day. Some noteworthy inclusions is Interstellar, Goodfellas, Citizen Kane, Casablanca, it's one of my favorites, Psycho, There Will Be Blood, Saving Private Ryan, The Thing, Departed, Pan's Labyrinth, Seven, Forrest Gump, and a whole load more. Found out from a local GM who said they will be about 150 locations.
That's a pretty cool. Like we were just talking about that it's difficult to run, you know, these types of things because people just watch them at home or they want to go out and watch the new movies. But if I lived near one of those, I'd be going to a lot because you don't often get the opportunity. Like, look, again, the way to watch a movie, like your home theater system setup sucks compared to a movie theater. It just does. All right. I've got a Sonos surround sound with 100-inch TV and all that kind of stuff. That's great, but it sucks compared to a real movie theater. That's where movies are meant to be seen. And even for a lot of these films, it's like, yeah, I can watch them, but how often for the rest of my life am I going to get chances to watch some of these great films on the big screen again? And yeah, I would be taking advantage of a couple of those for sure. All right, what's next?
We got Paul Kirby, who says, did you see the article on Jurassic Outpost detailing the success of the box office run for Rebirth? Mentioned that the budget and marketing is reportedly a lot less than the previous two movies, so despite a lower total gross, it might be more profitable.
I've never even heard of Jurassic Outpost, so
yeah.
that's not a bad thing. I'm sure they've never heard of me. No, I do, but that doesn't quite jive with what I heard. Again, I can't comment on it because I didn't read it, so I have no idea where they're going. Look, it is a testament to the power of this IP, of the Jurassic IP, that you could take a movie that was so very bland and not very good in Jurassic World Rebirth, and it still makes over $800 million. That is a testament to how powerful this IP is. Can you imagine how much money this movie would have made if it was actually decent? It would have been $1 billion film. If this movie was even remotely good, it would have been $1 billion film. And by the way, it wasn't garbage. The movie's not garbage, but I mean, it wasn't very good and it still made $800 million. Like, it's crazy the power of this franchise. All right, what's next?
We got CJ from New York. Hey, John, I was tempted to go to this. Went to the Fathom event of the 35th year anniversary of TMNT. No trailers before the movie, and they even had behind-the-scenes footage with the director before the movie started. Had a smile on my face the whole time, reliving my childhood.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not that big of a fan of those original TMNT movies, to be honest with you. But one of the cool things about the Fathom events is they're private events, right? They book the theaters, and the theaters don't get to play trailers in front of them unless Fathom wanted to. But why would they want to?
Fathom has their own little set, but it's short.
So I think that's an awesome thing about them. And I do love Fathom comes up with some really cool events. And again, I'm not a huge fan of the original TMNT movies.
It hit for my age group.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. But I mean, I love that Fathom does them though. I really do. All right. What's next?
We got Curious Chris. If you think about it, the central theme of both Guardians 2 and Superman can be summed up by Yondu. He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Gunn tends to gravitate toward found family stories, and you can find that even in Superman.
Well, yeah, and listen, it's not if you go back and watch some of his interviews and stuff like that, you know, he recently lost his dad not that long ago, and he had a really good relationship with his dad. Oh, thank you, Simon. Appreciate that, man. He had a really good relationship with his dad, and he misses him terribly. I think he talked about it on the Michael Rosenbaum Inside of You podcast, where I think he went more deeply into that. And you're right, that family and found family are often big themes of his. Like, you can see that in Suicide Squad as well. And I think that's part of the reasons why they resonate with me so much. All right, what's next?
Oscar Herrera, if you think, hello everyone. Hope you all are doing fantastic. Today is my son's Atticus' first birthday.
I love that name, by the way.
Atticus Finch. He and I watch the show together, and sometimes he naps while listening.
That's, first of all, one of the great movie characters of all time. Please tell me you named him after the iconic movie character. Anyway, that's awesome to hear. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. a lot. I'm always floored by how often we hear from people that say, I watched the show with my dad, or I watched the show with my son. That's amazing to me. And that really means a lot to me. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
All right, here's our last of the tips.
All right.
Chunky Metahuman. Hey, John, what's more likely scenario for you when the Gunn DCU is all said and done? What's more likely? Superman 2025 is Gunn's best or worst Superman movie of all his Superman movies? Like, do they get better, or is that like the pinnacle?
Who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say, right?
That like you're asking me to literally just take a coin, flip it, and say, listen, Superman's great, so it could end up being his best one, or they just keep getting better, and it could end up being his worst one. I mean, obviously, the hope is that this Superman movie is his worst one, because that would just mean the upcoming ones will be mind-blowingly good. But I mean, who can really say? All I know is this. James Gunn has not yet once disappointed me when it comes to his projects. Whether it's Super or Slither or Guardians or Peacemaker or Superman or Suicide Squad, he's never let me down with a film he's directed.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll happen. It will happen.
Everybody has to happen at some point.
Yeah, it will happen at some point.
Yeah.
Everybody has a bad day at the office, and James Gunn will have his. 100% he will. But it hasn't happened yet. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go.
It's kind of funny. So I actually saw Superman last night. It's the last day. It's playing at the Burbank 16. And there was like us and two other people at first, and then it got like 3/4 filled. But it's funny. I was looking at it's actually playing in the XL today out here at your Tyler. There's one guy in dead center for the XL screen. He's gonna love it.
He's gonna be singing "I'm a punk rocker, yes I am." Anyway, all right, guys, that'll do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making our little show part of your day. Big special thank you to all you guys who sent in the questions. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you supported this channel as you did it, and all of us involved with the show. Thank you guys so very much for your support. To everybody in San Diego who's coming out to our meet and greet tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you there. Big thanks to Robert Meyer Burnett, to our technical producer, Jonathan Voico.
See you guys later.
My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.